Today on Pride at Accenture, I'm delighted to welcome to the show Dr. Vivienne Ming, who is not only a mad scientist, but is an entrepreneur and author as well. Vivienne, welcome to the show today.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's great talking to you.
Let's get to know Vivienne a little bit more before we talk about some of the exciting things that you've been doing recently and your passion for inclusivity and the human. So tell us a little bit more about your journey and what's brought you to where you are today.
Sure. So let's start with the punchline, which is that I do describe myself as a professional mad scientist. I was a theoretical neuroscientist, started at Carnegie Mellon and then Stanford and UC Berkeley. And then about 10 years ago became an entrepreneur and founded a number of companies in a variety of slightly demented places. I never found a business model I couldn't make worse with my view of what business should actually be doing in the world. But really everything I do, from my neuroscience to my education work and inclusion research, is really driven by earlier moments in my life, which, it started wonderfully. I grew up in a little valley here in California. My father was a doctor, my mother was a teacher in coastal California. It was a wonderful life. And I immediately began squandering it. By the time I was in the 6-7 years old, I was already struggling academically, struggling with basic ideas of happiness. And when I finally made it to secondary school, I was completely out. My whole life was falling apart by then. But for performing extremely well on standardized tests, I would have flunked out. When I finally got to university, I almost immediately did. And then I was homeless for many years. And the real cap to my story is the night. 10 years later, I'm nearing the end of my PhD research. I have fallen in love, and my fiance is actually next to me in bed, and my life is on this amazing trajectory. I just had a paper published in Nature, and my PhD, my dissertation's all written, and I'm looking at the future. And for no reason at all, at least there was no plan behind it, I turned to my then fiance and said, "Do you want to know my deep, dark secret? It's that I wish I was a woman." Well, good night. And I rolled over and went back to bed. So if you hadn't picked up on this whole story, I was born male. And that was another point of privilege I had in my life and squandered. And I decided, you know what, life is too easy at this point. I wanted to do the rest of it going backwards in heels. The whole Fred Astaire thing, I'm trading up for Ginger Rogers. That's the advanced level of the game, and I was going to go all in.
Ginger Rogers with a sci-fi twist, I sense, though.
Well, it certainly is the case that a lot of parts of my life wouldn't exist without the wonders of modern science. Both my sense of my preference in fiction, as well as just literally who I am physically, is the fact that I have two amazing kids and have known me their entire life as their mom. They know my background, but I'm their mom. And the fact that I was able to be a mom is an amazing thing. I didn't happen to give birth to them, but I would if I could. But here's the thing. We stayed up all night talking, my now wife and I. And then the next night, we went to bed and my head hit the pillow and I fell asleep. And that may not sound amazing to the vast majority of you watching this right now. But let me tell you, that was the culmination of 20 years of brutal insomnia. Insomnia so bad, I'd seen neurologists. I had taken medications. And one night, I said something to someone I cared deeply for. And the next night, I fell asleep. And I haven't had a single night of insomnia ever since.
I'm going to be a little bit selfish on their behalf, if that's okay, and ask, for those who are bisexual, trans, gay, whatever, all of our lovely human identities at work, what advice do you have for someone growing up in today's age when the topic of inclusion and diversity is much more mainstream, and yet the challenges seem, in some respects, as great as ever. What would you say to them?
It's easy for someone like me to look back on my life and say, hey, the classic commencement speech, be courageous, go out and do big things, when it feels like every decision you're going to make on your life is the biggest, most important, and it's going to define everything for the rest of your life. And if you make the wrong one, it will ruin everything. Well, let me tell you, I made some terrible decisions in my life. And if anything, my life is a proof that you can come back. How that plays out if you are going through gender transition, or you're gender non-conforming, or you're gay or lesbian, it does play out differently because there's still challenges. And if you're part of Accenture in India, those challenges are different than if you're part of Accenture here in the Bay Area. And I get that. But what I have come to understand is the more you're you, the more you are truly you and unique in the world, the more people see that person and they don't see the label anymore.
Difference and differentiation are actually mission critical to a great career, can be a real differentiator. I find myself in India, China, and other places on stage answering a similar question and reflecting that, my goodness, I am so relieved I'm different because I can be more, and it makes me special, it makes me different. And that's why I enjoy celebrating the power and diversity of this Pride community. Epitomised, if you don't mind me saying, no better than the fabulous human being which is yourself. Dr. Vivienne Ming, can I just say thank you on behalf of everyone in Accenture, in our global family. Thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for sharing just a little glimpse into your fabulous and wonderful story.
Thank you for the time and the chance to speak with everyone. Let me share this one story. The only executive training I have ever willingly submitted to, the person edited it and said, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but here's one thing. Stop grimacing when people pay you a compliment. Whatever you actually believe about yourself, imagine they gave you a physical gift and respond in kind. So I don't believe any of that, but thank you so much for that gift. It's been an amazing opportunity to do some really wonderful mission-driven work collaboratively with Accenture, and I look forward to doing so much more.
Vivienne, thank you. I look forward to sharing a latte or a cocktail with you in the future. On behalf of everyone at Accenture, and on behalf of everyone at home watching today, thank you very much, and we'll continue the conversation as we experience Pride Month around the world. Hopefully meeting people as lovely as Vivienne, although I think we're going to have a hard job topping that. Vivienne, thank you, and bye-bye.
Thanks.